It's the final day of the regular season here in the Corn Belt League. Tonight, here at the final regular season game here at Seymour Smith Park in 2023, we have the Filthballers and the Red Raiders. Mike Knockenhauer alongside Sam Whittaker. Sam, as we said, last day of the regular season, we have this one going on here, and then we have the Bombers and the Blue Dogs down at down at Iowa Western. But earlier we saw the Filthballers fall to the Haymakers 8-5, which bumped the Haymakers up to the 4 spot, and they moved the Haymaker and the Filthballers down to the 7 spot. As you can see here in our standings, bit of a mishap there. Filthballers in at the 7 seed, and the Haymakers up at the 4 seed after last game. But I believe the Black Sox, with a win against the Bombers here earlier this afternoon, did solidify themselves down in the 8th spot even with the win, but the Filthballers can move depending on if they get a win here or if the Bombers lose. So it'll be interesting to see how things play out over the next few hours as we're wrapping up the regular season here for the Corn Belt League.
Absolutely. I mean, the Bombers over at Iowa Western, if you're not able to view that one, the Bombers need a win tonight. If they want, they could possibly jump the Rail Riders, but it's really the Filthballers down there in that 7 spot that really need to make the move up here if they really want to get higher seeding in the tournament. And I'm really excited to see both these teams tonight. I mean, the Red Raiders, one of the top leading teams in steals and average, and the Filthballers also pretty good in average. It's going to be interesting to see how both teams roll out today's game, and especially after last game. Last game was a complete error show, not pretty, but it's sort of cleaned up towards the end, so it's going to be really interesting to see how both teams play off each other tonight.
Absolutely, as the Red Raiders at the beginning of the season were bottom of the league, but then they shot up after a while. A lot of good baseball in the kind of last 3 quarters of the season, and they now sit here at 3 in the standings. As we'll take a look at our starter on the bump tonight for the Red Raiders, and Drew Haferkamp, sitting with a 3.86 ERA, whip of 172, and a nearly 1-to-1 ratio of strikeouts to walks over 25 innings pitched. This is the 7th start on the season.
Yeah, and Haferkamp's been really solid when he has come into pitch. We've seen him coming in relief a lot of the time, but we've also seen him start some games, and he's been really solid in all the games tonight. It's going to be really interesting to see how the Filthballers play off of him after last game's sloppy performance.
As we will keep you updated over at Iowa Western with the Bombers and the Blue Dogs, as they are tied at 0 after 1 inning of play. Believe with a Filthballers win and a Bombers loss, it would bump the Filthballers up to the 6th spot and move the Bombers down to the 7th spot. And if the Bombers were to win that game, believe it would bump them above the Rail Riders to the 5 spot. But here at Seymour Smith for our last regular season game of the year, Filthballers and the Red Raiders just about to get underway. Should be a fun one. What are you looking for in both of these teams, Sam?
Well, really, it's going to be the Red Raiders getting on base. They lead the league with 98 stolen bases, have only been caught 19 times when doing so. And I'm looking for them to improve that average. The Red Raiders, second to last in average, 221 overall as a team. The Filthballers come in, though, in 4th place with a 233 average. That's probably changed since the last game, but it's really the Filthballers that need to get hot early to get Haferkamp out of his groove.
To lead things off here for the Filthballers is Brendan Hillis, who went 0 for 3 in that game against the Haymakers. The first pitch is in there for ball 1, and we are underway here from Seymour Smith Park. Mike Knockenhauer alongside Sam Whittaker. Pitch number 2 from Haferkamp misses inside for ball 2. Pitch is popped up in the air over to second, and the catch is made. It's Braden Jackson over there at second, and the first out of the inning is a pop out to second.
Yeah, it's the quick start that Haverkamp needs to get through this game. Already on to the second batter with under 5 pitches.
Peyton Larson steps to the plate. 2 for 4 with a run scored earlier this afternoon. He swings over that one for strike 1. Larson comes in today, before today's first game, with a .258 average, a .299 on base percentage, and a slugging percentage of .355. He's worked himself into a 2-1 count. That one high, upstairs for ball 3. That one will right outside, and Larson is on with a 1-out walk here in the top of the first for the first base runner of the game.
And that's a good start for the Filthballers. Both need to get on base. Filthballers really need to if they want to secure a win here tonight after losing that first game.
Carson Burnett, one of the best hitters in the Corn Belt League this season, steps to the plate, hitting in the 3 spot this afternoon. Led off last game as he checks swings and goes around for strike 1. Enters today with a .379 average, a .478 on base percentage, and a .448 slugging percentage. Haverkamp deals home, and it's outside for ball 1. Larson over there sits with 4 stolen bases on the year. So that one fouled off, and it's 1-2. One-two from Haverkamp. Runner goes. That one way outside. It'll get all the way to the backstop. So Larson will walk into second easily on the passed ball, or the wild pitch rather.
Moves the Filthballers up to 40 stolen bases now. Didn't get any in their last game.
That one upstairs. Haverkamp will check back to second before coming home for the full count pitch. Payoff from Haverkamp, as that will miss low, and Burnett reaches, and it's back-to-back walks for the Filthballers.
Yeah, and Haverkamp knows Burnett is one of the more dangerous hitters in the league. Didn't do too well in his last game because he came into the first game with a .400 average, but like you said, dipped into that .370 range. But a good job right there by Burnett just to take his pitches and drive it on down to first.
Brings up the cleanup hitter in Matthew Rivers. It's a big swing and a miss there for strike 1. As we've seen with him, he has that stance where he really squats down, gets a lot of power behind that bat, as he's been able to show. Haverkamp checks back to second. 0-1 pitch from Haferkamp. It's going to be popped up on the infield. Coming over to make the catch is Connor Weiss over there at first, and there's 2 away.
Now batting, the extra hitter from the back, number 15, Corey Banta.
Brings up Corey Bantham to the plate. 273 hitter on the year. Looking to put the Filthballers ahead here in the first inning. First pitch is outside for ball 1. One-0 pitch. Going to be popped up in the air. Center field. Spees is under it, and he makes the catch. Excuse me, that's Calhoun out there in center, but nonetheless, the Red Raiders give up 2 base runners, but no damage done. We'll head to the bottom of the first here on the Corn Belt League Network. Welcome you back here. It was a scoreless top half of the first for the Filthballers offense, and on the defensive side, they will send out Ethan Neeson to the bump. 12 innings of work thus far this year, 3.75 ERA, 1.67 WHIP, and once again another pitcher with a near 1-to-1 ratio of strikeouts to walks. It's Ethan Neeson making his second start in 7 appearances this season. It'll be Blair Spees to lead things off here for the Red Raiders here in the bottom half of the first. Spees, Brisbois, and Steele due up here in the home half of the first. First pitch from Neeson is on the outside part of the plate for strike 1.
Oh, really? What's your username?
0-1 just misses down and away for ball 1. Ball 2 also outside. Spees with some good numbers on the year, 19 for 68 for a 2.79 average, 351 on base percentage, and a 338 slugging. As the fourth pitch he sees is another pitch on the outside part. This time catches the plate and evens the count at 2-2. 2-2 from Neeson, chopped back to the mound. Throw overs over the head of Rivers. Spees turns the corner. He's going to head to second. He's thinking third. He's going to round second. All the way into third. The throw is not in time. And Blair Spees reaches on an error and then will come all the way around to third, and the Red Raiders are in business.
Yeah, that's given the Red Raiders dugout a lot of energy to start this game off. That was just a great job right there to just turn the corner and know he had the speed but it's starting to look like deja vu for the Filthballers again. First throwing error of the game.
Ball was chipped back to the mound, and Neeson just airmailed Matthew Rivers over there at first. Brings up Dylan Brisbois from Emporia State University.
Little college down in Kansas.
Behind the dish tonight for the Red Raiders as he'll take strike 2. As we've seen so far from Neeson in a limited amount of pitches we've seen, he likes those outside pitches, and he's been able to paint that outside corner pretty well so far.
Yeah, and that's his signature. He likes to get swings and misses if he can, but just get them in any way you can.
0-2 will miss high.
I didn't see that play. Was that a throwing error? He would have been out.
Michael says, George says yes.
1-2 to Brisbois. Up and away for ball 2.
Mine used to be George Knockenhauer when I changed.
Well, James Lewis.
2-2 pitch, grounded foul to the right side. As we said, this Red Raiders team has 98 stolen bases as a team.
Yeah, and the leader on that team is Chris Calhoun with an astonishing 21. At least every single position player rostered has a stolen base on this team.
As that one's going to catch the outside corner for strike 3. Brisbois does not like it. But a backwards K from Neeson, and there's one away in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, and that just froze Brisbois. Really good pitch there. Just didn't get it the way he wanted it, didn't pull the trigger. And a good opportunity now.
Jackson Steele to the plate now. He will ground this one to short. Hillis will throw over and make the play, but Spees will come in to score, and the Red Raiders get on the board here first in the bottom half of the first.
Well, this is starting to look like the last game for the Filthballers. The throwing error led to the first run coming in. Already they're down 1-0 against a star-studded Red Raiders team.
That one in there for strike 1. That one down and away for ball 1.
You have a dog?
I have 3. I have 3 dogs.
I only have 2.
2-1 now from Neeson. Misses down and away, ball 3.
That's just good discipline right there. Doesn't want to swing, and it's a good job by Braden Jackson, the all-star this season.
3-1 is in there. It is strike 2. Home plate umpire.
2-1-2.
Did a strikeout call, and there's a dog.
You see a dog there? That's a good boy right there. That's a good dog.
We got that for our main man Ethan McCormick.
As a strikeout will end the inning, but the Red Raiders bring across a run. It's 1-0 as we head to the second.
1 run on no hit.
once again, welcome you back. You see a dog there. It's a great night to bring your dog out to the ballpark. It's the Red Raiders up 1-0 after the first inning.
Yeah, weather's finally cleared up. Got minimal cloud cover over J.J. Isaacson. It's all really kind of moved out to our west, kind of moving up to that north area, and the humidity's back down. It's good baseball weather now.
Leading off the top of the second inning for the Filthballers.
It'll be Corey
the
Bantam.
designated hitter from Allen County Community College, number 34.
Excuse me.
Anthony Nino.
Anthony Nino to lead things off here in the top half of the second inning.
Not Nemo.
So Nino takes ball one.
We were on here and you switched. So when we say on 3, don't switch, even if something's messed up. We didn't. Connor's fault though.
2-0 now.
Yeah, I agree.
Inside, and it's 3-0.
3 on 3 on 3. I found out how to get Connor away from you guys 1-on-1. You guys ever have Connor peeking over your shoulder? Don't touch my head.
It's interesting to see Haverkamp fall in to a 3-1 count. Don't see him behind that much.
As this one, he falls behind 4-1, and it's a 5-pitch walk to Anthony Nino to lead things off here for the Filthballers.
Filthballers are starting to show good discipline. They didn't show too much in the first game, and especially those throwing errors didn't help them very much, but a good job just to finally work counts in.
Brings up Dane Garner, the second baseman here tonight. That one outside for ball one.
Wait, no, stop, no. Say what? No, you guys are good. I lost camera 4. When did that happen?
Camera 4. Where's camera 4? Right here. What happened to camera 4?
1-0 is upstairs for ball two. Haverkamp deals the 2-0, and it's in there for strike one.
Haverkamp trying to pump more strikes in after that walk to start it out. We know Haverkamp excels in strikeouts. Also likes to get the ground balls and let the defense work behind him.
Swing and a miss, and the count back even 2-2.
Oh, wait. Urgent Jackson. Mark Kelly dated Jackson's sister.
Okay. That's what we're freaking out about?
Yes. It's our count us in a while. 1-on-1. I don't even have my count.
2-2. Outside for a full count.
This is our way to stay focused.
We got playoffs coming up.
Don't switch y'all.
Taylor,
I'm doing a camera for playoffs. I still down there AirPod it.
this is our last Tuesday broadcast.
Alright, one back was sorry for that. We had a moment in the first game. 2 on 2.
Haverkamp will check back the runner at first.
It was very intimate moment.
As Dane Garner has worked the count full.
Are there any photos that we could send in group chat of them together?
That one low, and it's back-to-back walks for Drew Haverkamp and the Filthballers with 2 on with no way here in the top of the second.
Now batting.
Well, Haverkamp
Missouri Western University.
not typically trying to issue the free pass, but does here in back-to-back counts. No one away, so Haverkamp really needs to get something on the ground. See if he can turn a double play or just get a strikeout here.
3 on 3. 2, I lost you. 1-on-1.
This first pitch from Haverkamp to Lyndon Brugman is going to be lined out to right. Tagging up and heading to third is Anthony Nino. And now one away with runners on the corner here. Runners on the corner, excuse me, here in the top of the second.
Lewis, number 19, Max Myers.
So Mike has kissed Jackson's second cousin. Oh, Alex's second cousin.
Runner goes. Throw down to second is beautiful in time.
What a beautiful throw right there. Behind the dish for Breeze Boy. Got it in time, put it in front of the runner. Not directly on second. That's perfect placement for him. And now there's 2 away for Haferkamp.
So Dane Garner is cut down, trying to swipe second, and that takes the sac fly out of order. Max Myers swing and a miss, and the count to 1-2.
This is just what Haferkamp needs. If he strikes him out here, will do wonders and give the Red Raiders a ton of energy.
So that one outside for ball 2.
Jackson, you're in the band if you're just.
2-2 to Myers is in the dirt. They're going to say that it was a drop third strike. Throw on to first is in time. And the Red Raiders once again put runners on for the Filthballers, but no damage done, and it's 1-0 heading to the bottom of the second here on Tuesday Night Baseball. Austin Sheaver to lead things off here for the Red Raiders in the bottom half of the second. Filthballers have threatened with a couple base runners in the first 2 innings, but are yet to bring across the run as Red Raiders take a 1-0 lead here into the bottom half of the second. First pitch there from Neeson is a high fastball that Sheaver swings through for strike 1.
And I did want to bring it up, but we do have action out in the Filthballers bullpen. Just in case it does get a little out of hand, we do have Haferkamp still just warming up in the pen, so it's not a new pitcher.
That looks to be Owen DeLong out there in the Red Raiders bullpen as this one shot to Dane Garner. And a race over to the bag as Neeson was unable to corral it. And Sheaver will reach on an infield single to lead things off here in the bottom half of the second.
Well, it was a good attempt by Neeson just to get over to first, but just couldn't beat out the wheels and drop the ball. So good chance, but dangerous hitter right here in Chris Calhoun.
Chris Calhoun, as we said, one of the best base stealers on this Corn Belt League. As that one, a throw down to second, and Sheaver's in there. As Garner argued that Sheaver came off the bag, but base umpire says no, and Red Raiders with a runner in scoring position here with no outs.
Yeah, that throw was just a little offline. Couldn't get the glove onto it fully.
Swing and a miss. As we were saying, Chris Calhoun, one of the best base stealers here in the Corn Belt League with 21 coming into today. Swing and a miss there. And he's down now in the count 1-2.
Thing is, though, Calhoun is a great two-strike hitter. We've seen it before from him. Able to just take what he can and put it in the field.
1-2 pitch. Calhoun leaves that one off. Breaking ball low for ball number 2. Swing will be popped up over on the left side, and it will trickle out of play. Count remains at 2-2.
And in the pen for the Filthballers is Quinn Zaborski. And the Concordia man, just in case it gets too out of hand here against this hot middle of the order for the Red Raiders.
Two again to Calhoun is fouled off.
And that's what I'm talking about with that two-strike hitting. Calhoun very good at fouling off pitches. In a 2-2 count, he looks to move it to 3-2. Very good vision as well.
Two again. Misses high in the count now full. Good eye from Calhoun, and the count 3-2. Payoff pitch here from Neeson. Going to be grounded over to Burnett over at third. Bobbled it a little bit, and there's going to be no throw. And they're going to give that an error to Burnett. So an E5, and there's 2 on with no outs here for the Red Raiders.
Now batting, the right fielder.
And the league's best base stealer is on first base.
Colton Hayes.
Yeah, you also have Sheaver over at second. May not be as good in stats against Calhoun, but who's really close to him with 21. Sheaver can still steal a base. We've seen it before.
As runners go down to third, and Sheaver is out by a lot. Base umpire was waiting to make the calls to try and decide if he thought Sheaver was tagged. And he's going to say the tag was applied by Burnett over there at third. So the first out of the inning is a steal attempt cut down by Max Myers behind the plate.
And that's only the 10th time this year. That's right, just the 10th. They've just now, in the final regular season game, hit double, or excuse me, that's the 19th for the Red Raiders. It's the 20th.
As Calhoun took off with the pitch, and that one's going to get through. But a great play over there at first by Dane Garner. Throw all the way across the diamond, and it's a double play. Calhoun was trying to catch the Filthballers infield sleeping, but the Filthballers infield will double off Calhoun at third base to get out of the inning. Score remains 1-0 as we head to the third here on Tuesday Night Baseball on the Corn Belt League Network. New pitcher now in for the Red Raiders is Owen DeLong. This is his third appearance on the air, only 2 innings pitched so far, but ERA of 2.59, or excuse me, an ERA of 0 actually, has not given up an earned run in his 2 appearances thus far. Whip of 150, and batters are hitting 125 against him. He's facing Jacob Martin to lead things off here in the top half of the third inning. One pitch now. Going to be shot into right, and it will get down. So Martin is on board with a leadoff single.
Yep, and that one was just over the glove of Braden Jackson out at second. So a good job just to swing that over and leading things off with a base knock.
We will update you now on the Bombers and Royal Blue Dogs. It's a 1-1 game in the top half of the first. Bombers with 2 on with only 1 out. So we are down to our last 2 games here of regular season play. Make that 2-1 Bombers now. Right here we have a 1-0 game. Red Raiders with the lead through 2 innings. Brendan Hill is top of the order now, back up for the Filthballers. He flew out to second to start things off here in this one, as this one will be fouled off towards the bleachers. I need a battery. I need a camera battery. DeLong checks the runner back at first. Martin will slide back in safely. DeLong making sure that Martin doesn't get too comfortable over there at first. Two 1 pitches in there for strike two.
Surprised they already took Haferkamp out. I assume there was some plan to do so before the game.
2-2 pitch now from DeLong. It's in there for strike three. Hillis doesn't like the call, but he'll head back to the dugout. So there's one away here in the top of the third.
Yeah, and that's just what DeLong needed to start his day off after the lead-off runner aboard. But a good job right there. Just got him out.
Back pick attempt to first is not in time as Martin will slide in safely. One-0 pitch will get away from the catcher in Brisboy, and Martin will move up to second, so tying run in scoring position here for the Filthballers.
Just what they need to get that tying run across. There's only one away, so if something deep enough could advance them.
That went in there for strike one.
Saw Larson the last game, moved around a little bit position-wise, but had a pretty decent day at the plate.
Two-one pitch now, going to be chopped over to first. Fumbled over there at first by Weiss, but he'll collect it and make the play. Martin moves up to third, and there's two away.
That's a good job right there by DeLong covering for Weiss. Just got the throw over in time, but now the man on third need a base knock here.
Brings up Carson Burnett. So this one will be popped over into foul territory. Connor Weiss looking to make a play on it, but it'll tail out of play.
They should put like trap doors in baseball fields so that you can just like run out. One on one.
0-1 pitch now from DeLong. Down and away. Good stop there by Brisboy. Jacob Martin just 90 feet away looking to tie things up for the Filthballers. Is this one going to be grounded over to second? Jackson with it. And the throw over to first. Side is retired. Filthballers have put runners aboard in each inning, but still unable to score as it's a 1-0 game heading to the bottom of the fourth.
And up for the Red Raiders in the bottom of the third inning.
New pitcher now in for the Filthballers is number 28, Quinn Zaborski.
Yep, Zaborski coming in with 33 innings pitched, 32 strikeouts, and 11 ball walks to his name. 127 ERA. That is an immaculate ERA this late in the season.
Yeah, Zaborski, usually a starter. It's his 7th appearance. 5 of them have been starts. He does lead this Filthballers team in innings pitched with 33, as you said. So he's in relief now for Ethan Neeson, who went 2 innings and gave up a run. 1-1 now is low for ball 2. Two one, swung on and fouled away, I believe, and it's 2-2. Two pitch now from Zaborski is upstairs, and the count now full 3-2.
Good job by Zaborski just to pump the zone with strikes here, just what he needed to start this outing for him.
Payoff pitch is going to be chopped over to Garner at second. Going to be a tough play, and he'll shovel it over to Rivers over at first for the first out of the inning.
Well, that underhand didn't have a ton of power on it. You wondered if he was going to get it over in time. Did by a little margin of error. And he's already one away.
Nick Chanez now up to the plate.
Chanez got that 242 average coming into tonight. 8 hits, 7 walks, 4 RBIs for him. Also got the 6 stolen bases on the year. Matches with the jersey number perfectly.
Chanez, the extra hitter tonight for the Red Raiders. Two-one pitch is going to be shot up the middle into center. A good piece of contact there from Chanez, and he's on with a one-out single.
Yeah, good little hack right there by Chanez. Shortstop and second were playing a little too out. And that one just squeaked through that middle part of the infield.
Brings up the 10-spot hitter in Ty Beasley. Runner goes immediately, and there's not even going to be a throw.
Moves him to 7 stolen bases now. We want to talk about another guy with a lot of stolen bases. Ty Beasley got 17 on the year. Second on the team.
One is outside. As we were talking about, between Calhoun and Beasley, they have 38 combined stolen bases. The Omaha Black Sox, who are last in the league in stolen bases, have 39 as a team. So that just goes to show you how dominant this Red Raiders team has been on the base paths.
They look to go for 100.
I believe they are, as Chanez and Sheaver are both with one today. So far they have bumped up to 100 on the season. as Beasley swings over that one, and it's 2-2.
Always like to see Beasley show off the power that he has. A lot of hitters have power in this league, but Beasley, one of the ones that stands out.
That one misses just outside, and it'll fill the count at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Runner goes, swing and a miss, strikes him out, and throws him out to end the inning. So some good defense here from the Filthballers, and they'll get out of another inning. They've given up 1 back in the first, but 2 scoreless innings in a row. And it's 1-0 Red Raiders after 3 frames as we head to the 4th.
Bring you back into the top of the 4th. Filthballers and Red Raiders. Mike Knockenhauer and Sam Whittaker bringing it to you tonight.
Matthew Rivers in there to lead things off here for the Filthballers in the top half of the 4th. We'll take a look at what's going on down at Iowa Western. Bombers with a 3-1 lead in the bottom half of the 5th over the Royal Blue Dogs, who have solidified themselves as the #1 seed in this weekend's tournament, starting on Thursday and Friday with the quarterfinals both days at 4 and 7. Semifinals Saturday at 4 and 7, and the championship game at 6 p.m. on Sunday. All the action will be broadcasted live here on the Corn Belt League Network. And as for the game here, our last regular season game here at Seymour Smith this season, Red Raiders with a 1-0 lead. Low scoring, low offensive affair so far. That one inside, and Rivers is on with a leadoff walk.
Don't see Rivers typically walk down to first, but he does have that patience to do so. I love to see Rivers swing it, though. He has a lot of power, and we've seen it before.
11th walk on the year. It's a big swing and a miss there from Corey Bantam. Bantam flew out to center back in the first inning. So this one can be chopped over to first. On to make the play is Weiss, and bobble over at first. DeLong couldn't handle it as he tried to barehand it. Couldn't get a handle on it. So Bantam will reach first safely on the error, and Rivers will move up to third.
Yeah, Bantam almost tackled him over at first. I mean, came in hot, tried to slow the momentum as he had to fight for positioning right there, but got on in time.
Anthony Nino now up to the plate. This one can be grounded to the shortstop. On to second for one, over to first for two. But it will bring in Rivers to score, so the double play is converted. But the Filthballers will tie things up here in the top of the fourth.
Yeah, that's a beautiful 6-4-3 double play, just like they wanted it. Although the run does come in to score, so that does take out a little bit of the excitement, and we're tied at 1.
Dane Garner now to the plate. It's that error from DeLong looming pretty big now. It's the Matthew Rivers run coming in to score, ties this one at a run apiece. As Garner will shoot this one into center. On to make the catch is Chris Calhoun. Side is retired. Filthballers tie things up here as we head to the bottom of the fourth here on the Corn Belt League Network. Blair Spees to lead things off here in the bottom of the fourth now for the Red Raiders. So going to be chopped over to Rivers as he puts a glove on it, and he will not beat Spees out. Blair Spees, known for his speed, beats out the first baseman in Matthew Rivers as he raced him to the bag, but first pitch of the inning is an infield single for the left fielder in Spees. After the Filthballers tied things up back in the top half of the fourth.
Expect to see some movement over at first or on the base pass whenever they do get it.
As Spees running immediately, Myers with a throw down to second on the other side of the bag. Not in time, and Spees 2 pitches into the inning, is now on second base. Yes, you did call that, Sam. As you said, though, this Red Raiders team is absolutely lethal on the base paths, so absolute nightmare for these catchers in this league. As this one could be lined sharply into right, and around third coming home is Spees. Jake Butler out in right. Jacob Martin out in right. Kind of bobbled it. I think Spees was going to come home regardless, but make that 3 pitches into the inning. Blair Spees chops a ball over to first, beats out the throw, then steals second, and then comes around to score. And just like that, it's 2-1 Red Raiders as they take the lead right back.
And we know Spees to have the wheel, so it wasn't a shock when Dwayne Hosey told him to come all the way around. A good sign right there by the third base coach and head coach.
Runner going again. This throw down, as that one is going to get him by a lot. As that was the courtesy runner and Ty Poor running for Dylan Brisbois. As it's a lot of action here in the bottom of the fourth. Only 4 pitches thrown so far. Fifth pitch of the inning is inside for ball number 2.
It'd be interesting to see how he rebounds after that run comes in, and he's already down 2-0.
Is this one going to be shot into left, and it's going to get down in the gap all the way to the wall. Jackson Steele will put on the brakes at second, and he's on with a 1-out double.
Yeah, great job right there. Just got perfect contact on it a little late and got the opposite field knock. Now a good chance right here for Braden Jackson, the all-star, to bring him in.
So it brings up Braden Jackson now for the Red Raiders as they look to add on some insurance. Jackson struck out looking back in the first. He'll foul off that first pitch. Down at Iowa Western, Bombers still hold a 3-1 lead. They're up to bat in the top half of the 6th with 1 down. Steele will take off for third, throw down a little offline and not in time. So Steele advances to third on another Red Raiders stolen base.
We're going to see a lot of that tonight. I mean, it's already been obvious. They're up to 4 now in the game, I believe. So already hit that 100 mark tonight, the centennial mark. Just a lot of stolen bases for this Red Raider team.
As let's see, that is 4 now on the night. Shanez, Sheevers, Spees, and Steele all with a swiped bag so far. That ball upstairs for ball 2, and it evens the count at 2-2. Two-two pitch from Zaborski is swung on and missed. 2 away now in the bottom of the 4th.
Good job right there by Zaborski just to get it in the zone. Jackson wanted that one in the zone, did get it, but just couldn't make contact there. And a good chance right now for Austin Sheever to bring in the runner.
Austin Sheever singled and was caught stealing back in the 2nd inning. hitting as the DH tonight. Still takes strike one on the outside part of the plate.
Does anybody have Benadryl?
1-1 pitch now. Swing and a miss there from Sheaver. Moves the count to 1-2.
Like to see Sheaver be aggressive in counts. Doing so here.
As that one going to be called strike three. Zaborski allows a run. And the Red Raiders will take their lead right back, but a strong
For the Red Raiders in the bottom of the
bounce back from Zaborski to get out of the inning, as it is 2-1 Red Raiders as we head to the 5th inning here on the Corn Belt League Network.
2, Filthballers 1.
So Filthballers put across the run in the top half of the fourth to tie things at 1 apiece, and the Red Raiders responded very quickly as Blair Spees came all the way around the bases to make this a 2-1 ball game through 4 innings, as that one lined right to Ty Poor over there at second base. So the defensive change
Now batting.
for the Red Raiders gets his first action very quickly, as the first pitch of the inning is lined right to him, and there's one away. Swing and a miss there. This is Max Myers, who struck out back in the second inning. As this one going to be lined down the line, and it's going to go foul. A little early on that one, just pulled it a little too far to the left.
Good power stroke right there by Myers. So he really kept that in the zone a long time. Just a little too out in front of it.
0-2 count now. Going to be popped straight up. Under it to make the catch is the catcher in Dylan Brisboy. And 2 quick outs here for the Red Raiders.
It's a quick work right there.
Now batting. The right fielder from Western Technical College, number 16, Jacob Martin.
And one of the statics is directing this, or this next pitch.
Jacob Martin, the bottom of the order, now up for the Filthballers, as he will shoot this one into right. Colton Hawk. We welcome you back here to the Corn Belt League Network. We apologize for some technical difficulties. Neither team scored in the 5th inning. Now to the top of the 6th here with no outs. Leadoff man in Cooper McCoy as the Filthballers down to 6 outs, down by a run. As McCoy swings over strike 3. It's a new pitcher as well in for the Red Raiders, in Austin Sheaver.
Yeah, Austin Sheaver, we saw him playing the position. Saw him playing in the field earlier, but moved over to pitcher. He has pitched before. Get you the stats in just a second.
Austin Sheaver on the air. This is his 3rd appearance. 4 innings pitched, 7 ERA, a 125 whip. So not one of the Red Raiders' normal pitchers, but gets McCoy to strike out swinging on the first batter he faces. As Peyton Larson comes to the plate. Is this one going to be shot just over the glove of Jackson Steele over there at short? And the second hit of the game is a 1-out single here in the top of the 6th.
And that's just what the Filthballers needed. Try to climb their way back into this game. They're only down a run. Healthy hack right there. Just gets a man on.
So we will update you on the game going down at Iowa Western. The Blue Dogs have brought across 4 runs in the bottom half of the 6th, and they hold a 5-3 lead. As we said, the Blue Dogs have already solidified themselves as the 1 seed in this year's tournament coming up this Thursday, but Bombers and the Filthballers currently sitting down at 6 and 7, respectively. A very important game for both of these teams to end out the regular season. This one popped over into foul territory there on the right side, and it'll spill just out of play.
Watch out to our cameraman, Colton Alder over there. A lot of foul balls near the fences in these past 2 games.
So Carson Burnett up at the plate. This is who you want up if you are the you're the Filthballers with a runner on and down by a run as you're in the meat of your lineup. 3-4-5 due up currently with Burnett on at the plate and Rivers on deck.
Yeah, those two very power-heavy players, especially Rivers, but Burnett often been compared to as the Corn Belt League's Shohei Ohtani.
This one grounded over to third, throwing to second for 1, over to first, not in time. So a 5-4 fielder's choice. And there is 2 away. Ty Beasley with a good play over there at third. Threw it over to Ty Poor, but just unable to get the runner over there at first as Burnett was able to hustle it out. And it brings up Matthew Rivers with 2 away.
Burnett also a lethal runner on the base paths. We know he can steal. It'll be interesting to see what he can do against the league leading team in steals.
This one going to be fouled away. 0-1 pitch is low. This Filthballers team looking to eke out a win here tonight, try and bump their way up to the 6th seed or higher. As this one grounded over to Beasley at third across the diamond, and a good scoop over there by Weiss at first. And the side is retired. Red Raiders still hold a 2-1 lead as we head to the home half of the 6th here on Tuesday Night Baseball. We head to the bottom of the 6th now. Red Raiders hold a 2-1 lead. Nick Shanez to lead things off. Filthballers down to their final 3 outs on offense. Quinn Zaborski back out there for his 3rd inning of work, as Shanez puts down a bunt right back to Zaborski as he'll throw it on to first for first out of the inning, and it'll bring up the bottom of the order and Ty Beasley.
From the University of Minnesota Morris, number 21, Ty Beasley.
Another one of those Minnesota Morris guys. We have a couple of them on this team. Others include Brecklin Sylvain and Josh Ostin. Can't forget Owen DeLong and Cooper Cicerello.
Bombers are down to their final 2 outs, top of the 7th over at Iowa Western. So we do know 4 of the 8 seeds in the tournament. Blue Dogs in at the 1 seed. Crop Dusters are the 2 seed. Red Raiders are the 3 seed, and the Black Sox are the 8 seed. But these last 2 games will have a huge say in 4 through 7, as Ty Beasley will shoot this one into the left center gap. He'll put on the brakes at first. But it'll flip the lineup card back over, and it's Blair Spees up to the plate now for the Red Raiders.
Well, yeah, and that last one was just tattooed into left. I mean, really perfect swing. Perfect placement of it, too.
Blair Spees with a solid day so far, 1 for 2. He's reached on an error and came around to score back in the first inning as another stolen base attempt, and Beasley in there safely. This Red Raiders base running attack is absolutely devastating if you're not on your game. As I was saying, Spees 1 for 2 on the day, reached on an error back in the first, came around to score and singled, stole second, and then came around to score on another single back in the fourth. As some insurance now on second for the Red Raiders.
Deeply needed insurance. They would love it if they could get it in here, boost that lead to 2.
That one fouled off to the left side. Zaborski works himself into a 1-2 count. Spees is going to step out. So it looks to be Colton Hayes out there in the bullpen warming up for the Red Raiders. Might see him come in for a save opportunity in the top half of the 7th, trying to close things out as this one popped out of play and Spees will stay alive. One, two again, and Zaborski will keep Beasley at bay at second. One, two comes home. Chopped down the third base line. It's going to stay fair. And Spees is going to hustle down the line with another infield single. Runners on the corners now with one away.
That's great hustle by Spees. We've seen it all the time. The wheels that he has often used in the outfield. Today he's back in the infield and really uses it to his advantage.
Dylan Brisboy now up to the plate. Struck out looking back in the first and then singled and was caught stealing in the 4th. So he looks to add on some runs. Spees running immediately. Throw down to second is going to be in time. So a much needed second out here for the Filthballers as Spees is cut down trying to advance to second.
And that's not something you see too often with Spees. Spees is really good at stealing bases. Just couldn't do so there. The Filthballers had the jump on him and made him pay.
Jackson Steele, check swing on the first pitch, and it's called strike. Excuse me, on the second pitch, called strike. So 1-1 count now. One pitch just outside. We do have a final over at Iowa Western. Royal Blue Dogs take down the Bombers behind a 4-run bottom of the 6th. We'll score 5-3, so be interesting how that shakes up the standings depending on the outcome of this one here. Jackson Steele works himself into a 2-2 count. Two pitch now from Zaborski. Misses just outside and the count now full. That one going to miss the plate. And runners once again on the corners.
This is crucial for the Red Raiders if they do want to add insurance and have a chance. to close out this game. Filthballers, on the other hand, need to get a ground ball here. Just need one more out to escape it and have a chance to tie this up.
Braden Jackson in to pinch run over at first.
Show bunt here.
Excuse me, courtesy run over at first for Dylan Brisboy as Jackson Steele now stepping to the plate.
Braden Jackson.
Runner takes off, throw down to second is not in time, throw to the plate is offline. And Ty Beasley comes in to score and gives the Red Raiders a much-needed insurance run. It's 3-1 in the bottom of the sixth.
And look at that Red Raiders dugout. They were ecstatic as he came home and into the dugout. Really know that insurance run adds a ton of pressure to the Filthballers.
1-0 count, swung on and missed by Steele. Two 1 count now. Zborski comes home outside, ball 3. Runner just going to take off, and he will get there in time. Zborski didn't even realize he was going until he was 2/3 of the way down the line as he takes the takes third base out of the ground.
Literally, he literally stole third.
3-1 count now. Zborski coming home, swing and a miss there from Steele.
That was an interesting development. Zborski did not see him go at all. The Red Raiders dugout just got louder and louder as he got closer, and he literally took third base out of the ground.
That's what makes baseball so special. You come to the ballpark, you'll see something you've never seen before. Full count pitch to Steele is swung on and missed. That will end the sixth. The Red Raiders add another run of insurance. They lead it 3-1 heading to the 7th inning. Last call for the Filthballers here on the Corn Belt League Network. Last chance now for the Filthballers, as the Red Raiders will bring out Jaden Mache to pitch here in the top half of the 7th. Mike Knockenhauer alongside Sam Whittaker here to wrap things up in the regular season here at the Corn Belt League.
And we are sending someone to check, but we believe the reason why third was taken out of the ground was because the Red Raiders had tied or set the record for stolen bases in a season. They have broken the record. We are being told 105.
105 stolen bases on the season. A new Corn Belt League record for the Red Raiders and their absolutely deadly base-stealing attack. 2-0 from Mache, catches the outside corner for strike one.
And this is odd in itself. Jaden Mache is pitching, typically known as being a catcher in a lot of scenarios.
2-1 moves to 3-1. This is Mache's first appearance all season pitching, and it comes in possibly the final inning of the final game of their regular season. That one fouled off by Corey Bantam.
As this is officially the last game still going on of this season. This is the last 2023 Corn Belt League game.
Bombers did lose, so the Filthballers had one part of what they needed to happen. That one fouled off to the left side.
It's nice to see records even being broken this late in the season. Last regular season game, good to see that.
So 5, 6, 7 due up for the Filthballers in the tops of the 7th here. That one fouled off once again.
That one left J.J. Isaacson field. A lot of power on that.
Payoff pitch from Mache once again. Swung on and missed. A big first out there as Mache gets Bantam chasing. And a 7-pitch strikeout from Jaden Mache. And there's one away here in the top of the 7th.
Well, that gives him his first Corn Belt League shutout. Or, excuse me, first Corn Belt League strikeout. Looks to do the same here, but we are going to have a mound meeting.
That will be a quick outing for Jaden Mache. And it will be Chris Calhoun coming in from the center field position.
I think everyone's just getting the chance here to throw in a few pitches and hopefully get a strikeout, as Calhoun's first warm-up pitch is way high.
Yeah, the Red Raiders have solidified themselves as the 3 seed.
So even if they do lose this game, will not affect it.
So we will step aside really quickly and bring you back here with one down in the 7th inning. Red Raiders having some fun here in the top half of the 7th. Jaden Mache, who hadn't thrown all year, came in and recorded a strikeout against Corey Bantam. And now Chris Calhoun, who's played center all season, spikes the first pitch he throws. This is his first appearance as well. As we said, the Red Raiders have locked into the 3 seed of the Corn Belt League tournament. Second pitch way upstairs for ball 2. 2-0 pitch. Nearly hits Anthony Nino in the head.
I think Calhoun just needs to lob something into the strike zone, just to get something in there.
3-0 pitch. Upstairs, ball 4, and Nino is on with a walk.
Now batting, the second baseman from Concordia University, number 23, Dane Garner.
Dane Garner stepping to the plate now.
Best case scenario for Calhoun here is the ground ball double play. He just has to find the pitches lower in the zone.
First pitch he throws to Garner is outside for ball 1. 1-0 just upstairs for ball 2. That one in there for strike 1. Two one now to Garner. Swung on and missed. So Calhoun's worked himself back into the count.
Good job by Calhoun just to come back into the count after falling behind the last count. Chance here, if he can find it in the zone or maybe have a little bit of break to something.
That one going to be fouled off.
You can see the little smile, just the smallest one on his face.
That one up and out for ball number 3. Nino will move up to second on a stolen base. Count now full to Dane Garner.
Takes the double play out of order. Just needs a ground ball here if he can.
And ball 4 will put Garner on base, and Red Raiders coach will come out to sub out Chris Calhoun. It looks to be Colton Hayes will replace him. We will step aside. Filthballers have put on 2 here with still 1 out in the top of the 7th. Another pitching change, the third of the inning now for the Red Raiders. It is now Colton Hayes in to pitch.
Missouri Western University, number 11, Lyndon Brugman.
He's going to face Lyndon Brugman. Filthballers now with 2 aboard here on the top of the 7th.
Wonder if the Red Raiders are just going to keep going with position players on the mound just because they do have that 3 spot locked in if they need it.
First pitch from Hayes hits Brugman, and the bases are loaded.
So if they do have to change pitchers, Mike, who are you thinking they're going with?
Now batting.
I honestly don't know, because I don't know if in that dugout they're thinking right now, we already have the 3 spot locked in. There's no reason to burn any of our pitchers that we're going to use, as it looks like we do have some action in the bullpen. Looks to be number, trying to see. Looks to be number 6, Nick Chinez over there. Ball 2 upstairs.
All the Red Raiders need is a ground ball double play. It's in order.
That went in there for strike 1. Swung on and missed, a high pitch, and the count even at 2-2. This one going to be lined down the third base line. It's going to get down fair.
There's no way, right?
1 run comes in to score. Here comes another. A third rounding third all the way home. He's safe. It's a 3-run double for Max Myers.
3 on 3. Focus. 3 on 3. 3 on 3.
Wow.
1 zoom out a little bit.
What a double for Max Myers. A bases clearing double has given them the lead in the top of the 7th.
Courtesy runner at
Absolutely unbelievable.
college, number 4, Cody Bruce. Now batting.
The Filthballers loaded the bases, and then Max Myers laced a ball just inside the bag down the third base line. All 3 runs come in to score, and it gives the Filthballers a 4-3 lead.
That is a huge momentum killer for the Red Raiders. I don't know if they really need it, though, with that 3 seed locked in.
Might not matter for the Red Raiders, but it absolutely matters for the Filthballers. Unsure of what this would do in the standings, but the Bombers did lose just that game going final about 25 minutes ago.
And you could see the excitement from the Filthballers as they came home. Just wondering, it makes sense not to burn arms.
Absolutely unreal, as Jacob Martin now up to the plate, still with 1 out and a runner in scoring position. That one upstairs, and it's 3-0. Cody Bruce into courtesy run over at second for the catcher, Max Myers. As Martin will just watch that one upstairs for ball 4, and it's a 4-pitch walk.
Top of the order from Lyon College, number 9, Cooper McCool.
Cooper McCoy now up. That one misses for ball 1. 1 out of McCoy. Going to be popped up. That one's going to go out of play. That one down and away for ball number 2.
And a correction on who's in the bullpen for the Red Raiders. It is Connor Weiss, the first baseman.
That one riding inside for ball number 3. That one can be popped out of play. Count now full 3-2. Payoff pitch to McCoy. Rides upstairs, and the bases are loaded once again.
And coming out of the pen, and the Red Raiders look to be making another change on the mound.
We'll take a look. We'll see if that is indeed the end of the outing for Colton Hayes.
This would be the 4th pitcher of the inning.
So it will be. It looks to be J.J. Schubert coming in from center field in relief for the Red Raiders' 4th pitcher this inning. Still only 1 out recorded. Excuse me, that looks to be Brecken Sylvan.
Yeah, Sylvain, typically known as a closer. So they actually put in a listed pitcher in Sylvain.
We will step aside. Huge turn of events here in the top of the 7th here on Tuesday Night Baseball. So the Filthballers have brought across 3 runs here in the top half of the 7th. Brecken Sylvain in now to pitch. First pitcher this inning for the for the Red Raiders that has multiple innings, or multiple appearances so far this season. Brecken Sylvain in his 13th appearance. He only has 1 start. 25 1/3 innings pitched, 2.21 average, 2.21 ERA, 142 whip, and a 204 opponent's batting average. Looking to come in and close things out and try and keep this a 1-run game. His first 2 pitches from him are going to miss the zone, 2-0. That one misses the plate, and it's 3-0. This is Peyton Larson, I believe, top of the order, back up. Excuse me, the two-hitter for the Filthballers. Thought that was ball 4, but takes it for strike 1. It's 3-1. Is that one going to be lined into left? It's going to get down. 1 run comes in to score from third. The left fielder bobbled it. And it's a 2-run single. The Filthballers add a couple more runs, and it's 6-3. What a turn of events here in the top of the 7th.
Absolutely. I mean, it started off with the Filthballers trailing 3-1, and they've come all the way back to now take a 6-3 lead. This is just not what the Red Raiders wanted to close out the season, but they can't be too upset by how the season finishes.
So that one upstairs for ball 1. So that one check swung, and he did go around, and it'll even the count at 1-1. That one in the dirt. 2-1 now. Two on pitches in there. Count now 2-2. Runner takes off for third. Strikeout is recorded. So 2 away now. As Carson Burnett strikes out. So 2 away now with runners on the corners for Matthew Rivers. That one in there for strike 1. That one in there for strike 2 now.
Rivers in a quick hole here. Hasn't been himself at the plate today. Has a lot of power at the plate.
0-2 to Rivers. Just off. 1-2 now. Swung on and missed, and that will end the inning, but the Filthballers bring across 5 to take a 6-3 lead, heading to the bottom of the 7th here on Tuesday Night Baseball. beautiful half moon tonight out here on a beautiful July evening here in Omaha, Nebraska. Filthballers were down to their last 3 outs as the Red Raiders led 3-1 heading to the top of the 7th, but a couple of clutch hits have given the Filthballers a 6-3 lead, and Quinn Zaborski out there for his 4th inning looking to close things out here for the Filthballers.
Yeah, and Zaborski knows he has to be on his game here against the Red Raiders. Don't know if the Red Raiders want to really make a push, just trying to save some energy for the postseason that they have coming up here Thursday. As we like to remind you, we have coverage of all postseason games this year.
I do apologize. It is actually Zaborski's 5th inning of work. The starter, Ethan Neeson, went 2 innings, and then ever since the 3rd, it's been Zaborski. 64 pitches through 4 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. So he looks to finish things off, and good start there as he gets strike 1 called on the inside part of the plate.
Never complained about first pitch strike, and Zaborski's thrown a handful of them tonight.
That one in there for strike 2, and Zaborski ahead in the count quickly 0-2.
Okay, if he strikes him out, we're going to go camera 2, hold there. Camera 3, follow him in. Camera 1, just hold.
Outside corner catches the plate for strike 3.
That was a tough-looking call. I can't really argue either way, but good break on that ball. Zaborski and the umpire must have just seen something there. Beautiful curve and beautiful break on it for the backwards K.
So Sylvain strikes out on 3 pitches. And it brings to the plate J.J. Schubert, his first at-bat of the evening.
Quickly in an 0-1 hole, though. It's going to be interesting to see how the Red Raiders battle against this.
Zaborski once again ahead in a quick 0-2 count. That went down and away in the dirt for ball 1. One-two pitch from Zaborski, swung on and missed. And it's back-to-back Ks to start off the bottom of the 7th, and the Filthballers 1 out away from getting an improbable win. Very dramatic, exciting win to close out the Corn Belt League season.
And this one would bump them, believe, ahead, or if not, even with the Bombers here, as the Bombers did not get the win against the Blue Dogs, as we remind you of their loss at Iowa Western tonight.
After the game, we will try and confirm and figure out what the final standings are with the last 2 results here tonight.
I lost camera 2, Alex.
0-1 pitch. Catches the outside corner, and the Filthballers are a strike away.
Zaborski just needs to pump one more in here, and it'll boost their standings and a chance to get that seed even higher.
0-2 pitch misses. 1-2 now.
Saw this the last at-bat in the 0-2. First ball was given out. Then Zaborski struck him out.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out, striking out the side to finish things out. What a relief appearance from Quinn Zaborski. Goes 5 innings. And the Filthballers plate 5 in the top of the 7th from a clutch hit from Max Myers, who is our player of the game. But until we get there, any final thoughts from you, Sam?
Well, this game started and looked very close at the beginning, and it was until the Red Raiders just gave up that huge 5-run inning, like you said, and it just got out of control from there. But I don't think the Red Raiders will be too disappointed. They still do have locks on that 3rd seed, and now the Filthballers hopefully boost themselves up. If not, they get that 6th seed, or excuse me, that 7th seed. If they win, they get that 6th seed. Just depends on how it all falls.
So that will wrap up the regular season here at J.J. Isaacson Field. We will have our post-game interview with our player of the game, Max Myers, coming right up here on the Corn Belt League Network. We welcome you back here to the Corn Belt League Network, our final regular season game from J.J. Isaacson Field, and a dramatic 6-3 win for the Filthballers. I'm here with our player of the game, Max Myers, who had the game-winning 3-run double in the top half of the seventh. What was going through your mind when you came up to the plate with the bases loaded?
Well, I knew the pitchers were struggling throwing strikes. They'd walked a few guys before that, so my main thought was just don't chase anything. Just get a pitch in the zone, hit that, and then I got down 2 strikes, so I knew I had to protect, and threw me one right down the middle and just pulled it down the line.
Yeah, so you were behind the dish tonight. What was it like having to face a team in the Red Raiders who actually broke the Corn Belt League single-season record with 105 stolen bases? They had 7 today. What was it like having to have to pop up so many times and throw out so many guys that were trying to steal?
Yeah, so they were stealing pretty much any time they had someone on base, so I just expected it, and anytime someone was on first, I'd set up outside and try and get a lane to throw, and I threw a couple guys out, but...
All right, last question. So as many people know now, we now are done with the regular season, have the postseason coming up. Filthballers have actually secured the 4 seed. What do you guys? How are you guys feeling going into the postseason? Like, what's the feeling with the team right now? How are you guys trying to carry the momentum of a game like this into the quarterfinals on Thursday?
Well, we lost a couple pitchers at the beginning of the year, so throughout the season we've kind of struggled with that, but we've got 2 new pitchers on the roster recently, so that's huge for us. And I mean, we've won the past 2 over 3 games, so. And then, I mean, we know we can win it. We know we have a good team that can make it far in the playoffs. It's just a matter if we show up ready to play or not.
Thank you so much, Max, as we will say good night here from J.J. Isaacson Field on our last regular season broadcast of the year. We'll shift gears now to the postseason. Quarterfinals coming up Thursday and Friday, 4 and 7 on both of those days. 4 and 7 on Saturday for the semifinals, and then the championship game coming up 6 p.m. on Sunday. Max, thank you so much for joining us, and we thank you all so much for watching at home. It was a great regular season, and we hope for a very exciting postseason here on the Corn Belt League Network. Good night.